Boker Tov, good morning. It's wonderful to be here with you together on this beautiful Monday morning. With the way my schedule's been lately, I've been able to be less present here on Boker Tov, but I'm excited to be back. And it's good to be here with you and looking forward to days ahead together. Good morning, Annette. I hope everyone has a chance to say Boker Tov. Good morning, Ferdinand Lance and Joni and Sean, and to each of you and all of you. Good morning, Anne. And I hope each of you has been had a good Shabbat and a good weekend. Good morning, Alan. And let's join together on this beautiful sunny morning and let us begin with words of gratitude that speak of the wonder of awakening each morning and looking at the world around us. Please join me. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה, וברא בו נקבים נקבים, חלולים חלולים, גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא כבודך, שאם יפתח אחד מהם, או יסתם אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה, אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's say a special prayer, gratitude for the soul that is within us. It's within us, and yet it never leaves the divine presence. We're always directly connected to the transcendent, to God, to what is beyond just this simple material world around us. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together La'asok b'divrei Torah to talk about our living a life where we reflect on Torah, where we learn and connect to the traditions of our people and affirm their questions and make them important in our lives. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה. וערב נא, אדוני אלוהינו, את דברי תורתך בפינו, ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך, ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av v'em, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Vashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yarovit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. Vachnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Uvikul cholim, to visit the sick. Vahachnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulevayat hamet, to keep faith with the dead. V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. V'hava'at shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'tamud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Let's join together in Baruch She'amar, in our prayer that affirms the incredible world-shaping power of words, recognizing that language and our use of it really sets up the world in which we live. And let's live in a world of gratitude. And so we'll join in Psalm 100 today. Please join me in the Hebrew and English version. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who speaks that we might listen. Blessed is the one who acts that we might be witnesses. Baruch hu u'baruch shemo. Blessed is the one who decides that we might accept. Blessed is the one who has mercy that we might live. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who removes the darkness that we might see. Blessed is the one who lives forever that we might believe. Blessed is the one who saves and delivers that we might be redeemed. Mizmor LeTodah, a psalm of gratitude. Ha'oriu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz. Let all the earth sing to the eternal. Find joy in service of the sacred. May every word lead to an encounter with the divine presence. May we sense the Holy One within us and in all creation. Discover sacred purpose in every moment. The eternal is our infinitely capable creator. God forms our purpose and potential. Enter the gates with gratitude. Bring praise and thanks and bless the divine name. The divine love of the eternal allows us to find good in everything and strengthens the faith of each generation. In that spirit, let's continue with Shema Yisrael, these words that talk about the unity of God and our responsibility as Yisrael, as those who struggle with the divine, as those who reach for the divine, to listen, to understand the meaning of unity. A world beyond us and them, especially within the people of Israel and much beyond it. And so let's consider what it means to live in a world where on a very broad spiritual level, all are one, all are interconnected through the Holy One. Please join me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. Ve'ayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'vetecha u'velechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha. Ukshautam laot al yadecha, vayu letotafot ben enecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot betecha, uvish orecha. Vayomer Adonai al Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael ve'amarta aleim, ve'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei v'gdeim ledorotam. V'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf betir techelet. והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטעו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם emet. Well, let us continue with looking at our Torah portion for this week, for the words that allow us to reflect on one level on the early lives of our ancestors, but more appropriately on our own lives. And so let's see if we can do that together. And it just take me a moment to open the words of it doesn't seem to want to open, so give me a moment and I will adjust it. Here we go. There, that's much better. And in this week's parasha, we have stories of Isaac. But Isaac's stories, interestingly enough, seem to be reflections of Abraham's stories. Just like Abraham, when he was Avram and Sarai, went down to Egypt, and Abraham wasn't willing to acknowledge that Sarah was his wife. but rather pretended she was his sister. Isaac did something very similar here in interaction with the foreign king Abimelech. And it comes out that, in fact, he takes her into his place, but sees that, in fact, Isaac and Rebekah are a married couple. And Abimelech says to Isaac, "So she is your wife. Why then did you say she is my sister?" And Isaac said to him, "Because I thought I might lose my life on account of her." The Hebrew says, "Pen ki amarti," I said to myself, "Pen amut aleha," I might die because of her. Abimelech said, "What have you done to us? One of the men might have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." Abimelech then charged all the people, "Anyone who molests this man or his wife shall be put to death." So the fear of strangers exists into the second generation of our ancestors. And here Abimelech shows himself to be a person of principle, and says no one's going to do that. And Isaac sowed in that land and reaped 100-fold the same year, and the Eternal blessed him. Now, the words that are used there are quite significant. Where it says, "Vayizra Yitzchak ba'aretz hahi," Isaac planted seeds in that land. And what did he find? V'yimtza b'shana hahi mea she'arim. And it's correctly translated here that he discovered, he found, he created for himself in that year 100-fold. God blessed him. And the words 100-fold, Mea She'arim, is the name Mea Sharim. People often say it in English, of what has long ago become an ultra-Orthodox neighborhood in the big city of Jerusalem, but was the first Jewish settlement around Jerusalem outside the old city walls. And they named it Mea She'arim. It's very interesting. What did they do? They named it to echo this story um, that when going out among the people of the land, um, one must be careful, but also when one deals in this way with those honestly around them, there's an opportunity for something better to grow that pays back not a regular harvest, but 100-fold. It's interesting that that was the phrase that they chose, Mea She'arim, for that neighborhood, for going out and expanding the Jewish footprint around Jerusalem beyond the old city in the 19th century. And I believe that's when Mea She'arim was founded. I didn't look it up in advance of our conversation this morning. Um, but it's interesting how that in some ways has become inverted. That Mea She'arim is now a place where members of the state of Israel refuse to participate in the physical caring for the state of Israel, where it's a place that is not a step outward, but looks primarily inward, trying to move backward in time rather than forward in time. And it's worthwhile looking at this story and this focus and saying, our people has found ourselves throughout the world in a place where we're dealing with those outside our people, and we have reason to be concerned that we could be met with hostility by those around us. And what are we going to do? And I think to deal by protecting ourselves. Mea She'alim was built with inner courtyards and walls on the outside of places where people lived so that they were able to defend themselves, looking after our ability to defend ourselves, but also dealing in a forthright and honest way with those around us who we believe we have an opportunity to create relationships with. I think to make that investment rather than to turn inward gives us the opportunity really to benefit 100-fold. Whether we will find the ways to do this and have the courage to do this is difficult to say. But at the same time, I believe that we can. And looking at ways, even actively right now, to help us find ways to do so in this uncertain world. Well, as we move forward, we do so being aware of our brothers and sisters and the whole people of Israel around us. There are 3 bodies that have still not been returned from Gaza, and they must not be abandoned. But even as we look outward, which we must do, we must also stand with our brothers and sisters in the house of Israel. And so, for all those in need and for all those with whom we should strengthen ourselves as we move forward, let's join in the words of Achen. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, achiotenu kol beit Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה, המקום ירחם עליהם, ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומאפלה לאורה, ומשעבוד לגאולה, השתה ועגלה, ובזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. Our brothers and sisters, the whole family of Israel who are in difficulty or captivity, whether on land or at sea, may the ever-present one have mercy on them, bringing them out from distress to comfort, and from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now, quickly, and soon. And we say together, Amen. Well, the things seem quite precarious in regard to the ceasefire in the war in Gaza. And there's a vote at the UN today that will have impact on how things move forward. It's concern anytime from a Jewish perspective to say there will be something consequential at the UN. There have been times where that works in our favor, but they've been few in recent decades. And so please join me in this prayer for those who stand on guard and protect our people and make sure that there's strength around us. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב אמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם ויקוים בהם הכתוב וכיתתו חובותיהם לעתים וחניתותיהם למזמרות לא ייסעו גוי אל גוי חרב לא ימדון עוד מלחמה וישבו איש תחת גפנו ותחת תאנתו ואין מחריד ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury, and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. But we move from our prayer for those who stand on guard to our prayer for those who are facing difficulty, injury, or illness, or any kind of treatment, moments at the end of life, moments where we're seeking to get beyond the pain of either acute illness or chronic difficulties. For all those names that have been given to me and given to Temple, for those names that have been placed in the chat and this and other services. For all those in need, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שבירך רבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו לחל עמם ולרפאותם, ישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. Well, let us move from moments of togetherness and prayer for healing and strength to a time of memory. And it is wonderful to connect and reflect on a regular basis. And now we remember, recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died in recent days, and those we would take into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, the past 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Sheila Rose, Estelle Waldman, Jack Holtzman, Merle Snyder, Eva Samory, Marvin Barkin, Donna Biederman, Miriam Snyder. And we also remember all victims of war and terror, including those IDF soldiers whose lives have been lost in the last 30 days, Itai Yavetz, Michael Mordechai Nachmani, Shmuel Gad Rachamim, Yona Ephraim Feldbaum, Yaniv Kula. And on Yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 26th day of Cheshvan, the 17th of November, 2025, we honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Henry Bernick, Selena Bresver, Harry Brown, Florence Fruchtman, Elizabeth Gordon, Jack Gordon, Sheila Greenberg, Archie Lewis, Mozart Marescu, Ruth Nightingale, Aaron Polico, Ruth Trifler, Julie Trotta. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope, joining together in the Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh Rabbah, ve'alma divrach iruteh ve'yamlich malchuteh, b'chai echon, u'v'yom echon, u'v'chayeh dechol bet Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman karev v'imo, Amen. Yeheh shemeh Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Boker and Boker Tov, wonderful to see all of you here and to see your additional prayers that you add into the chat as well. Temple is grateful that today donations have been made. Contributions have been made to the Rabbi's Discretionary Fund by Selena Shapira, observing Yahrzeit for Mozart Marescu, and by Leon Trifler, unless it's Trifler, sorry, I'm not certain how to say the name, observing Yahrzeit for Ruth Trifler. Have a wonderful, meaningful day. See you right here tomorrow. Boker Tov, Boker O. Make it a good one.